1. The murder of Vanessa L. Johnson in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Vanessa L. Johnson was a 19-year-old woman who was found brutally murdered in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, in 2013. Her body was discovered with multiple gunshot wounds, and the case remains unsolved to this day. 2. The disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley in Puerto Rico. Amy Lynn Bradley was a 23-year-old woman who disappeared from a cruise ship while it was docked in San Juan, Puerto Rico, in 1998. Despite multiple sightings of Bradley over the years, her whereabouts remain unknown. 3. The murder of Monica Leach in Guam. Monica Leach was a 34-year-old mother who was found dead in her apartment in Guam in 2013. She had been beaten and strangled, and her case remains unsolved. 4. The murder of Tammy Higginbottom in American Samoa. Tammy Higginbottom was a 41-year-old woman who was found dead in her home in American Samoa in 2010. She had been strangled and her case also remains unsolved. 5. The murder of Clifford Tavares in the Northern Mariana Islands. Clifford Tavares was a 55-year-old man who was found dead in his home in Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands, in 2016. He had been beaten and stabbed, and his case remains unsolved. 6. The murder of Carolyn Coco in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Carolyn Coco was a 36-year-old woman who was found dead in her apartment on St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, in 2010. She had been beaten and strangled, and her case remains unsolved. 7. The murder of Melba Jordan in Puerto Rico. Melba Jordan was a 38-year-old woman who was found dead in her apartment in San Juan, Puerto Rico, in 2009. She had been stabbed multiple times, and her case remains unsolved. 8. The murder of Jamie Cocaine in Guam. Jamie Cocaine was a 20-year-old woman who was found dead in her apartment in Guam in 2013. She had been beaten and strangled, and her case also remains unsolved. 9. The murder of Frederick Cruz in American Samoa. Frederick Cruz was a 22-year-old man who was found dead in his home in American Samoa in 2010. He had been beaten and his case remains unsolved. 10. The murder of Ramon Torres in the Northern Mariana Islands. Ramon Torres was a 50-year-old man who was found dead in his home in Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands, in 2016. He had been beaten and his case remains unsolved. These are just some of the shocking and tragic true crime cases that have occurred in the U.S. territories. Although many of these cases remain unsolved, it is important to remember the victims and their families, and to continue seeking justice.